The Gauteng Department of Education says the arrest of 7 girls accused of assaulting a girl learner from Bedfordview High School should serve as a deterrent to other bullies. The learners from Bedfordview High School, Kensington High School, Queen's High and Phoenix College were arrested after a video showing the group attacking the victim went viral on social media. The 7 accused have been suspended from school and they made their second appearance in the Johannesburg Magistrate's Court on Wednesday. Joining us now to speak on the rising cases of bullying and what can be done to resolve these behavioural issues among young people, we have Prince Motlou, who is the founder and CEO of Rising Star Discipline Camp, and we'll also be joined by Victor Nkuna, who is a camp instructor. So let me start with you, Prince. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Tell me a bit about Rising Star Disciplinary Camp. I imagine that it was born out of a need that you identified in as far as this issue of bullying is concerned.
Yes. So the reason why we invented the program is because of many of our kids, they were going rebellious. Parents were crying right, left and center. They came to me and asked me, we don't know what to do with these kids. But then we already had an idea of discipline camp, and the program developed itself over the years, and it's making a great work. We used the concept of a lot of camps. It's a combination of a lot of survival camps, discipline leadership camps. All of these things, they form on discipline, military tactics as well. We've been helping many young people in terms of disrespect, the bullying, backchatting, laziness, all these kind of things that you can think of. So discipline camp has been helping young people, to overcome kind of challenges.
What does, and I'm interested in the name of the organization, Rising Star. I get disciplinary camp, the disciplinary part of it. What does that look like in a democratic South Africa rights-based context? How do you start pointing out to these young people some of the problematic behaviors and working with them in a sense of instilling discipline, but without crossing the boundaries that are laid out?
Yes. So what is happening is that the word discipline camp is not even bad. It's a motivational word, and everybody needs discipline to achieve something, But then, discipline is not really implemented in high schools, Nothing happens to these kids, When they do noise, they can just step on the teacher. There's no consequences, They send them back home, they expel them, which is what they like. They like staying at home, not doing anything, running away from their responsibility, But then the discipline camp is like, in a way, making sure that, a child understand their responsibility of life, understand why they must respect, understand why they must go to school, understand why there's, have to be morals at any time at all, you understand? So kids young days, they've never been taught their responsibilities, especially from a young age. And the problem is not them, actually. Most of the problem is with the parents. Parenting, I've been, I don't know, shouting and going up and down with parent, showing them the right way. We even have parent seminars. We are actually forcing parents to actually attend parent seminars so they can actually understand or learn some of the principles on how do you actually bring up a teenage boy or teenage girl. You have peace when you have the relationship with them. So it is something that we're actually working on. Discipline Camp is a new project, and it's demanded all over because a lot of parents don't know what to do with their kids. Even the school don't know what to do. So we are there to actually teach the kids discipline and the right way of living.
All right, let's bring in Victor Nkuna, who is a camp instructor, to just take us forward in this conversation as well. Victor, good afternoon. Maybe let's start with you reflecting on your own journey, right? In terms of your first interactions with the Rising Star Discipline Camp and rising up to the level where you are a camp instructor. What were the issues at play in your own life that you now see among some of the young people that you work with?
Okay. Hello. Thanks for inviting me. The reason for me to be invited at discipline camp was because that I was a person that didn't want to listen to my parents. Actually, I remember there was a time I used to continue beating my younger sister because of the things that I told her to do. But those things they were supposed to be done by me by the time. So whenever I was given an instruction by my parents to do something, I would tell my little sister to do it. And then if she doesn't do it, I get mad, and then I blame her, and I end up beating her for that. So there was a time whereby I was introduced to Rising Stars by a friend of mine. He said it was an organization for arts. So because I love doing arts, I am an actor.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me go there and then join the arts. But then as soon as I joined the arts, I realized that they were not only doing arts. It wasn't only an arts academy. They also had different programs like discipline camps. So they started a camp, and then they told us that there was a camp that is coming. So I thought it was a camp whereby it's going to be fun, and it's just like a normal camp, like a vacation. So I told my parents, and then, they paid for me. And then that's when I went, I experienced my first discipline camp.
Yeah.
And then that's when we were taught by Prince Motlou, Emperor General. He taught us a lot of things. He taught us discipline. He taught us how the world is without our parents, how we must always respect, and a lot of things actually in the camp.
So,
I can't name all of them.
So, Victor, I appreciate you owning up to some of your problematic behaviors in the past. But would you say that you would apply the label and call yourself someone who was a bully before? And the reason I ask is to try and understand, the psyche that goes into it. Because it's one thing to be a troubled young person. It's quite another to go to the extent of what we would describe as a bully.
I wasn't necessarily a bully. I was. I used to get I had temper issues. I used to get mad quickly. Whenever something didn't go my way, I would put the blame on other people. I would do it in a way that it wasn't in the right manner.
So, but when you see other children now, when we play these videos, the one that's circulating recently, but also constantly, I mean, at the moment, the Department of Education is talking about some 500 instances of bullying. You working with people, young people, as a camp instructor and interacting with them, I imagine that some of them do fit that category of a bully. What's your understanding of this phenomenon? What don't we get as a society about the behavior of bullies, and perhaps something we should be addressing more fundamentally around that?
As I've been taught, we've been taught in the discipline camp that some of the issues, they happen because the children, they lack the support of their parents. Some of them, they do things to gain attention, to get that picture of I am the coolest person, hey, you can't do me like that, you can't do me like that. So they do not get the attention at home. So that is why they end up doing things so they can be seen on the street, and then they end up doing it in a wrong manner.
Yeah. Let me bring you back into this conversation, Prince. You also working with a wide range of young people, many of them with behavioral troubles and issues. Help us understand the bully phenomenon. For instance, questions arise from time to time. How do they decide that this is the child that I'm going to focus my attention on and bully that child? And what's the bigger question that's at play whenever we see a child engaging in bullying?
Okay, number one, it starts at home. Parenting is either these kids, they are avoided and they seek attention. Most of the time, they had no really good reason of doing what they're doing. They just want to be seen, they want to be known, they want to be popular, and they think that minusculity. If they don't actually see themselves as bullies. They see themselves as cool, want to be recognized in a way. Number two, there are no programs, other programs. Remember, these kids, they are going to school to learn curriculum, to learn 1 + 1 is equal to 2. But they're not there to learn respect, morals. So there are no other organizations or other programs for them. Remember, not everything is about 1 + 1. It's not about mathematics. It's not about what they do. There are social issues. They are they need to know other things, respect, morals, discipline. They need to be very encouraged to do good. But then the school is not doing that. All they do at school is to learn, go there and learn what is inside the books, their textbook. But what they lack is that there are no programs that is there for their emotional being, for their mental being, as well also a spiritual thing. Because you never know. A child get influenced very quickly. How does a child take a cigarette and smoke? Then the next thing they come back crazy. How does a kid join the gangs? Because they don't know themselves. They don't know who they are. They don't know. They are lost in a way. They need somebody. They need guidance from the teachers. They need guidance from parents. But these kids, nothing can be done, or nothing. They can't listen to anybody for as long as nobody is firmly about it. Is firmly to address the issue about it.
Yeah. All right. I've got to thank you for your time this afternoon. Interesting conversation. Prince Motlou is the founder and CEO of Rising Star Discipline Camp. We were also joined by Victor Nkuna, who is a camp instructor.